This is some suggested reading. This is some of the stuff from my bookshelf. These are not the only good books out there. There's all kinds of wonderful ones. Since we're doing Sun Tai Chi, this is Sun Tang's book on Sun Tai Chi Chuan or Sun Tai Chi Chuan. It was translated by Tim Cartmel. I wish I could claim him as my main teacher, but I only visited him briefly. He gave me this material quickly in a short period of time. I've had him check it, and I still send him emails and stuff. But this is the book I went through. I bought Tim's DVD. That's where I first learned the form from, and then I went out and he retaught it to me. But I also recommend his DVD. These are the Tai Chi classics. I don't have the necessary knowledge to understand them. A lot of it is a poetic language, like we'll say things like stillness and motion, motion and stillness, and it kind of means like, instead of moving my hand, like is it moving or is it still? They speak poetically, so I don't understand all the things in it, but it is nice for me to look through, and as I do understand something, to go back and see it. I love, I have my Sambo shirt, but I have a Swai Jiao shirt too. I love Swai Jiao, throwing is my favorite skill. This is an introduction to Chinese wrestling. It's a wonderful book. This is an interview with a variety of well-known Chinese martial artists. And there's an article in here by Tim Cartmel as well, and a few other wonderful people. This is a great book too. This was the book that made me, this is how I found out about Tim Cartmel. I'd seen this in a bookstore. And I flipped through it, and there were a couple pictures of throws. It was all articles. And I went, psst, and I put it back on the shelf. And I told my friends about it who I trained. One of them was a really good martial artist, and he shook his head and said, no, dude, the article's the best part. You got to go back and get that book. So I went back and I got it, and he said, you got to read the articles. So I read the articles, and I was like, holy crap. He talked about how to apply force, take out the slack. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And then when I met Tim, when I was at his jiu-jitsu school, he said that he didn't write this as a book. It was a series of articles. And the publishing company said, we want to do a book. He said, okay. They said, well, you got to take some pictures. He's like, oh. Okay, so he looked at the throw that he described. He picked a throw that would describe his article. And he said, but people just read the book and look at the pictures. And I didn't say anything. I was like, that's what I did first. Now, this is a great book. There's not a lot. If you want to picture a throw, it's by a judo book. There's also a companion video, and this is probably on YouTube. People do that. But it's not so much the throws. He talks about how to think about throwing. Like, we'll think about throws based on what I do, but we don't think of it as the person falling. So we'll base throws on whether or not you fall straight to the ground, whether or not you turn over, whether or not the person is being thrown arcs or something like that. And it changed my perspective on throwing a lot. So highly recommend this. It's available on Amazon. It's somebody posted something that his book costs more than a copy of Ernest Hemingway's The Sun Also Rises, and I think he said, suck it Hemingway or something like that.
Hemingway's free now, isn't he? Isn't he public domain?
Yeah, probably. But this is, if you buy Tim's DVD, he has two students on it, Jake Burroughs and Choice Stone. I hope I pronounced her name right. I've never met her. I've only seen her on Tim's DVD, and she has her own YouTube videos. But I got her book, and it has, Tim wrote it with her. That's Tim in it. So I highly recommend it. And then if you want to play around on YouTube or on Google, I don't know where you'll find all this stuff. Some of it might be free, some of it you might have to buy. Here's a couple articles. This one was written by Tim. Throwing Techniques in the Internal Martial Arts, an elucidation of the guiding principle of sticking and following. Great article about throwing, and the student he's throwing wrote his own article on Sun Tai Chi. And I'm not going to read the whole article, I'm just going to talk about one thing because we're going to be doing it tonight. We're going to record the application to the open close, the Kai Ho. And I like the way Jake described it, but I don't want to go through here and waste all the time to look for it. But if you get a chance, check out Journal of Asian Martial Arts. They have wonderful articles on all kinds of stuff, but look for Jake Burroughs. He has a good article on Sun Tai Chi. Anything by Tim Cartmel. And there's a whole boatload of other really good people. I think the first foreigner to study with the Sun family was a guy named Bradford Tyree, I think. I think he has some information on it too. a lot of people are. But that's some suggested or recommended reading. That's just the stuff I have on my bookshelf.